Hey there, this is Kat Ramirez. I am founder and CEO of hashtag Social Buzz and Advertise. Yay! So I'm trying something new today. I'm on a little later. It's 8 p.m. here in the Midwest, and thought I would try a PM and see how this goes along. So if you looked at the notes, what I want to talk about is holding yourself accountable. It's more than halfway through the year. And so this is a really good topic to talk about, especially right now. If you have set some goals early in the year or before the year began, or set some milestones, or just created some things that you wanted to accomplish, right? And now, amongst the COVID and other things that are happening, you know, I guess my thing to you is, how are you holding yourself accountable, and how are you preventing the whole COVID as an excuse? Because it shouldn't be an excuse. You have to press forward. It's onward and upward, and you have to look for opportunities and keep yourself motivated. So, I want to talk about how can you hold yourself accountable, and if you are distracted, because some of you might be, then how do we get back aligned, and how do we focus again? And that's what I'm going to help you with today. And hopefully we can accomplish all of this in my 30 minutes, because I got a lot of information. So if you have any questions, definitely drop me a line. If you're watching, give me a thumbs up or a heart, and let me know where you're tuning in from. And if this is something that you feel like a friend or somebody can use this information, definitely tag them in the post. I would love for them to gain knowledge from this as well. So, again, this is a really, really good topic, and it's one that we should be talking about because we're halfway through the year, and you don't want to look back in this year and think, what did I accomplish? And then you had all these goals and stuff, and then you're like, where am I? Why didn't I achieve anything? What happened to 2020? You definitely don't want that to happen. So I'm going to give you some tips and tools on how we can progress from this. Okay, here we go. So let me just set the playing field and the mindset that you probably have or have had, because I know I have. And so, you make these goals, and, I usually write them down, or I have a calendar. And I think to myself, okay, tomorrow I'm going to start. Tomorrow I'm going to do it. And then tomorrow comes and you think, okay, I'm going to sleep a little longer. I'm not going to do it in the morning. I'm going to do it later in the day. I'm going to start my goals and I'm going to achieve them later in the day. And then later in the day happens. And then you're like, I'll do it this evening after dinner. I'll start then. I'll start then. And then that time comes and goes by. And then you're like, okay, I'll start tomorrow. And then we repeat this whole process again until it's halfway through the year and you haven't accomplished anything, or you haven't done anything. And so if this is you, I know it's happened to me, and I'm sure maybe it's happened to you. You're not alone. It happens. It happens a lot. And we all hit this roadblock, and we all come across it. And some of us can get out of it and some of us can't. And we convince ourselves that, oh, well, we've gone this far, we're not doing it. I think we're just going to chunk it and not get it done. Okay. So I'm here to tell you that you can pick yourself up. You can wipe yourself off and get back on that horse and do it again. So if you have that, syndrome, whatever the case may be, then I'm going to help you move on. I'm going to help you relieve yourself from this. Okay. Just know that there are a few things in order for you to move on, or achieve what you need to achieve is you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be able to understand a few things. Okay. First off, you're probably not accomplishing what you want to accomplish because you didn't create any deadlines. Maybe your goals weren't very clear, and so the results are going to be really, really vague. Or maybe, you put too many things down that you wanted to accomplish. And so then that creates an opportunity for you to just set yourself up for failure. Okay. So again, in order for you to accomplish your goals, hold yourself accountable, is you have to be willing to take responsibility of the actions that you're going to take. Okay. And so keep that in mind. In order for you to accomplish the goals, you have to take responsibility for every action that you take, whether it's good or bad. And so we're going to help you get back on that horse, and we're going to help you hold yourself accountable. So one of the first things that you need to do, first off, so if this is you and you said tomorrow, 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 and tomorrow ended up to be halfway through the year, and here we are. No goals happen, no accomplishments, no milestones. Okay. The first thing you need to do is you need to adjust your attitude. You need to let yourself know that you can do it. You've got to change that mindset. You can't just give up because now it's halfway through the year and you're like, well, it's halfway through the year, I'm not going to do it. You've got to adjust your attitude, and you have to have the mindset of you can do it, because you can do it. So I'm telling you, but you got to convince yourself, because I can't convince you. Okay. So when you talk yourself out of it and adjust your mindset, you have to know that every choice you make has a consequence. Okay. Every choice you make. And so your job is to realize, you got to make an investment in yourself. You're going to make an investment in your company. Now, when I talk about holding yourself accountable, I'm talking about if you set goals for yourself, if you set goals for your company, whatever the case may be, just know that whatever choice you make, there are consequences. Okay. And so also know that the long-lasting changes come with long-term effects, good or bad. Okay. And then you have to understand and really just take the fact that you will stumble. You will have failures. You will make mistakes. It's all part of the process. You just have to know that that's not the end game. The end game is to accomplish the goals that you want to achieve. That's the end game. Okay. So adjusting your attitude so that you put your brave face on and you get at it and you understand the truths that are out there. Okay. Because sometimes you're going to have to ask yourself some serious questions. And some of those questions are, can I do it? What actions can I take or do I take? And then what am I willing to sacrifice? Because sacrifice is part of achieving your goals and accomplishing, the success that you want. So what are you going to sacrifice in order for you to achieve this, and hold yourself accountable? Okay. So the next thing that you want to do is, and I alluded to this when I first started, is write things down. You have to write things down. You can't hold yourself accountable if you don't write this down. If you are just coming up with some goals and milestones or accomplishments, whatever you want to call them. Okay. If you are just coming up with them and you're just hypothetically saying them, and you don't write them down, because when you write them down, you're committing to them. And that's the whole point of writing them down. That's why a lot of leaders out there and influencers and motivational speakers talk about journals, journaling your goals and writing the progress what you're at. So writing it down is, mentally you're committing to what you want to achieve. So writing it down is a must. And I would challenge you to do that. And if you haven't done it, then do it and try it and see where it takes you. So some things that you can write down And let's say that you're like, okay, I'm on board, Kat. That sounds great to me. What do I write down? Well, write down your goals. If it's going to be goals that you want to accomplish, then write down the goals and how are you going to achieve them? You know, what are the steps that you're going to take to get the goal, done? What are some obstacles that you might encounter? You should write those down so that when those come up, you're ready. You're ready for them. Okay. The other thing you want to do is make a promise to yourself. If you can't make a promise to yourself and fulfill it, how can you make a promise to anybody? Think about that, because you should be the most important person in your life, and the most important person in your life, and you are making a promise to do something good to make yourself feel better. Okay. And again, if this is for your personal goals, your personal brand, whatever, or this could be for your company, but you should make a promise to yourself, because these promises are things that you should take as you're giving yourself a big hug. Okay. Um, Quotations, you can write down quotations that motivate you. There are calendars that have motivational quotations where when you get up or you're at your desk and you can read them and they motivate you and they keep you going and keep you pumped. Those are good, you know. And if you maybe source them on the internet and just write them down and put them in front of you, put it on a Post-it note, So quotations to keep you motivated. Those are good things to write down. Here's the best thing. This is really, really good, is write a schedule. So, a lot of times we get out of bed and we don't really have a game plan. We just know, especially now with Corona, we don't really have a game plan. So if you write a schedule and hold yourself accountable to that schedule, you're more likely to get it done. I saw a motivational speaker in our marketplace a year and a half ago. I can't remember. And she had one of the best workshops that I have ever been to. And it was so super fantastic. And one of her bits of advice, and she is a writer, she writes a children's book. And one of the things she learned to help her finish her book or stay on track and stay focused was she went to a training session that talked about time management and things like that. And one of her biggest takeaways was, when you create a schedule for yourself, that means block out your day, every bit of your day, block it out and know exactly what you're going to do, because you only have so much time in your day. And you really want to utilize it as much as you can. And her whole point was she had blocked out writing every day, meditating every day, doing some research every day. So whatever her day had, what she had to source it from. But if you block it out, you'll understand and start to see, what are you spending your time on? Okay. Because this is a great way, again, to keep yourself focused, organized, and when you get up, motivated, because you're like, okay, I got to do this at, 5 a.m., at 6 a.m., I'm doing this, and, blah, 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 blah. So create a schedule and put your task on it so that helps keeping you aligned. Okay. The other thing you can do is your general habits. Is you want to make sure that you are creating good habits. When you create good habits, those are ultimately going to help you achieve the goals that you want and help you accomplish the things you want to do and help move you along the process, So tracking your habits and understanding, and this goes along with your schedule, understanding, what are you doing with your time? What are you doing with the bits and pieces of your time? I know that when COVID first happened, at first I was a workaholic. I, went to bed, I woke up, I came to my office, my space here in my living room, and I started working. And I didn't spend any time to myself. And I did that for like a month, and I just hit a wall. Like I was like, oh, I was drained and it was too much. And you can't function like that. It doesn't work. You know, you have to refuel. You have to, rest and refuel. You can't just go on high energy. A train can't, a car can't. They all had to refuel. You're the same thing. You're a machine that you have to refuel. And so if you keep a track of your habits, your good habits and your bad habits, then you're going to be able to adjust so that you can accomplish your goals. Okay. And then you want to check in periodically. So when you write these things down, your goals and making promises to yourself, and your general habits, you and your schedule, you want to check in periodically. You want to see where you're at, how much have you accomplished, and you want to reevaluate it because maybe you change some things, maybe you tweak some things because you don't want to set yourself up for failure. You want to celebrate your wins and your success. And you want to make sure things are moving along. You don't want to feel like you're just spinning your wheels. Okay. So another thing that I put step 3, but another thing you can do is create a strategy. So I talk about this all the time, over and over and over. In order for you to achieve a goal, you need a roadmap. You have to have a roadmap, and that's your strategy. So you have to think about, okay, here's my goal. How am I going to get there? What am I going to do to get there? And how am I going to get there? And your strategy can be is very detailed in that I have to make, let's say my goal was to increase sales by, 5-10%, whatever the case may be, whatever that goal is. Okay. Then I know that in order to increase by 5 or 10%, then I have to increase my volume of cold calling, right? So I have to increase it, let's say another 10 or 20%. And then I have to increase my closing ratio. So I know if I work out my math and do it backwards, I know what I have to do to get there. That's my strategy. So you have to create a strategy in order for you to accomplish your goals. Okay. And so one of the things in your strategy, when you're creating that strategy, one of the things that you want to address is combating procrastination. Yep, I said it because we all do it. We all procrastinate. We all have, in fact, our mind is attracted to things that we can procrastinate with. And so you have to be aware of the fact that you may procrastinate, and you also have to figure out what are going to be your biggest distractions. What are they? Prior to COVID, I would say probably it would have been socializing and networking and saying, oh, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to go to this event. I know that happened to me with working out. But now with COVID, you might be using COVID as an excuse. Oh, I can't make that many calls because, it's COVID and the other businesses aren't, functioning. They don't want to hear from me. Don't make those excuses. So you need to identify what are going to be your biggest distractions. What are going to be the challenges that you're going to come up against, so that you can figure a plan of attack. That's part of your strategy. So you need to figure a plan of attack. So handling obstacles and temptations is part of creating a strategy. So you want to identify that if your temptation, let's say that one of your goals is to lose weight, and let's say with COVID, you haven't been eating right or working out as much. Let's say that one of the temptations is, like just snacking. Well, don't buy any snacks. Like try to eliminate that so that you're preventing the temptation. Okay. So handling obstacles and temptations. So keep that in mind because you want to support the mission of holding yourself accountable and achieving the goals that you want. Okay. And then reframing from negative or challenging thoughts and situations. And this is going to happen. I mean, it's happened all year this year since COVID. So, again, my big thing is don't make this excuse. Don't allow it. You can't. You're going to have to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and you're going to have to eliminate the negative thoughts, and you're going to have to eliminate the negative words. And COVID is one of those. So instead of saying, I can't, I won't, things like that, you have to replace those words with, I will, I can, I'll try, even I'll try. Those instead of focusing on the can'ts and won't and, the excuses, the negative words. Okay. So keep that in perspective, because the words that you choose are also going to have an influence on you accomplishing the goals and the success that you want. And then also holding yourself accountable, because if you allow yourself to let those objections, obstacles, and temptations come into play, you're not going to go anywhere. You're going to spin your wheels. Okay. So the other thing that you want to do, as I am wrapping this up, uh, but before I go into the last point, I have to do shout out. I say, Angel, thanks for watching, Angel. I appreciate it. He goes, gotta go playing bingo. Okay, great, awesome. And then we have RK. Hey, nice to have you join us. That's awesome. And Fernando's watching as well. Thanks for watching, Fernando. I appreciate it. Candice says, calling me out. Yes. Hello. Hello, Candice. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And she says she hates procrastination. Yes. And Fernando says distractions. No distractions. Yes, I agree. Okay. So let's wrap this up. And so the final thing that you can do that will help you is to ask for help. So ultimately, only you can be held accountable for your goals, your actions, for the steps that you need to make. But this doesn't mean that you can't ask for help and support, especially now when we feel so isolated. So if you surround yourself with positive people and that helps you accomplish these goals, that's awesome. Because I'm a big believer in, if you set a goal, share that with as many people as you can, because that will hold you accountable. Okay. So as well as writing it down, if you share that with so many people, you're going to hold yourself accountable, because people are going to ask you, hey, how are you doing on that goal? Or, hey, Kat, what's going on with, your workout? Or, how many pounds have you lost? Or you look great, or whatever. They're going to hold you accountable, and they're going to help you move along with that. And then they're going to boost your morale. And if you're down, they're going to help you get out of that slump. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Some ways to ask for help is to find a tribe, a group on Facebook, on LinkedIn. There's so many groups out there. Maybe there is a group of like-minded people. Maybe there's a group, if it's fitness, that are bonding and joining together that can help motivate you. The other thing you can do is you can refer to some experts. So lean in and lean on some experts who are out there, and align yourself with them. And if they're doing great things and they're helping motivate you, and they're doing shout outs and, morning calls and whatever, participate in that and help yourself stay motivated, because that's the whole point of it. It's not about, oh, I can't do that, I don't have time. It's about making time, because you got to invest in yourself. You got to invest in your company. You got to, because nobody's going to do it except for you. Only you. That's it. Nobody else. So you got to figure out ways and strategies to stay motivated, and ways to stay accountable. Okay. And so referring to experts helps. Learn to communicate. This is probably one of the biggest ones, is people don't communicate enough about their goals, not their expectations, but their goals, their milestones, what they want to accomplish. And the more that you can communicate it, the better off you're going to be, because again, you're holding yourself accountable. And what better way than to communicate that to others, to your leader, to a mentor, whoever it is that you're going to communicate. Maybe it's your team, who knows? And then another good one is and I like this one, is you find an accountability buddy So, yes, that does exist. And sometimes people are afraid to do this because they're like, well, I don't want them to know that I'm not doing it or I'm failing or I can't do it. So what? That's the whole point of having an accountability buddy is so that you can hold each other accountable and you can lean on each other. And, a lot of support groups have accountability buddies that they call on when they're feeling like I'm feel defeated. I can't do this. I can't do this. So have an accountability buddy to help you out with that. Okay. And then the final thing would be in regards to asking for help is, if you have a budget, then, see if you can find a trainer, a mentor, or coach, somebody that's going to hold you accountable, somebody that is really going to push you, somebody that is going to help you accomplish the goals that you want to achieve, So when you invest in a trainer or mentor or coach, whatever the case may be, oh, whatever that oops, I don't know what just happened. Whatever the case may be, then that really is investing in yourself or investing in your company. And it really is worth every penny. Okay. So at the end of the day, here's the reality. Okay. As I wrap this up, you just want to take charge and you want to hold yourself accountable and you want to find ways that you can do this. So if you if you started the year and you had these goals or projections or whatever you want to call them, okay, whatever you had, if you had these in the beginning of the year and they just went to hell and they're out of just out of control, then just start all over. It's okay. You can start all over. Realign yourself. Get your mental, perspective in check and get ready to start all over because here's the reality is you have an opportunity to get ahead. You have an opportunity. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that you can do this. You can. You can do it. And you can't use COVID as an excuse and you can't use other things as an excuse. In fact, when you do that, you're allowing yourself to talk yourself out of it. And what I would say is, I would tell your negative self, I got this. Negative self, get out of the way. I got this. I can do this. I don't need you to tell me I can't. I can do this. And so you really do need to get a check on yourself and get a positive mindset so that you can tackle these things and readjust your goals and reset them and create a strategy and put a plan in place and make the rest of the year that you're going to conquer and accomplish and do some great things because you have the opportunity to do it. You just have to do it. You have to stay focused and you have to do it. No one else is going to do it for you. If it was that easy, if anybody can do it and we could just wish it and just say we're going to do it, then we would all be rich, happy, wonderful, wealthy, skinny, positive people. And that's not the reality because we have to do the legwork, the footwork. And so, again, a lot of this might seem daunting. You might be like, Kat, that's a lot of work. I don't want to do that. I had to really do that. Yeah, you do. You do. Because if you don't do it, your neighbor's going to do it. Someone else is going to do it and they're going to be ahead of the game. They're going to achieve all the goals that they want. And you're going to be left behind and you're going to look back and you're going to say, what the hell happened in 2020? I didn't do shit. And I don't want that to happen for you. I want you to achieve all the goals that you want. I want you to achieve your dreams. And I want you to know that at the bottom line, at the end of the day, there are consequences for the choices that you make. And you just have to know and understand that. What are the consequences? And then what am I willing to sacrifice to accomplish these goals that I want to accomplish? So just keep that in mind as you think about today and you think about the rest of the year, because you can do this and you just have to have that positive mindset and you just have to tackle it. You just got to get at it and tackle it and surround yourself with positive people that are going to help you get at this. There's a lot that can happen. There's a lot of good, and you can find success in 2020. Mark my words. You can find success in 2020. And I look forward to hearing about it. You know, if you implement any of the strategies that I talked about today to hold yourself accountable, to help yourself get right back on this horse and take on 2020 and accomplish your goals and dreams, let me know. Drop me a line. Reach out to me. I would love to hear. I would absolutely love to hear. You know, I think the attitude and mentality should be, screw you, 2020. I got this. I'm going to kick you in the ass because I got this. So that's my attitude, and you can't let 2020 defeat you, and you can't let COVID defeat you. You've got to defeat it, and you can do it. You just got to have the positive mindset, and you can get it. I know you can. Okay. If you have any questions, if you want to reach out to me, if you want to chat, if you want me to give you a kick in the ass, reach out to me. Let me know. I'm happy to. Again, let me know if you watch this in the replay. I'd love to hear from you guys. And thank you so much for your time. And thanks so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate it. Again, I just tested this because I want to see what a PM audience looks like. And hopefully everyone enjoyed this. And I look forward to talking to you again next time. And again, you got this. I know you do. And you just got to kick 2020. You can get it. You can get it. I promise you. Hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.